That is not how to write letters of recommendation for EB-2 or EB-1. I would tell you that USCIS would just trash this letter that you have written. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to discuss how to write letters of recommendation for your EB-2 NIW or EB-1A petition. And I'm going to be discussing details of what a letter of recommendation should contain, how you should write it, and what it should talk about. And if you're new to my channel, I want you to go ahead, like my video, subscribe to my channel, share my video with your friends and family, as this really helps my channel. Now, as you might know, that letters of recommendation for EB-1 or EB-2 NIW is different from the normal recommendation letters that people write for when they are going for grad school or when they are going for any other job. It is for the EB-2, you are writing a detailed letter that explains how you are well positioned to advance your proposed endeavor, or you are using it to substantiate an argument that you've made in your petition. Whatever you want to use the letter for, the letter should be able to help you win your case. It is not a letter that USCIS will write back to you and they will start telling you that, yes, letters have weight, but they do not form the cornerstone of a petition. Why this is true, the argument that USCIS is making, there is how you could frame this letter, there's how you could write it that will be used to form the cornerstone of your petition. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is that you have to get letters from people who are your superiors, people who know you or people who do not know you. However, if this does not fit the situation you find yourself, you could actually ask someone who have never worked with you or who barely knows you but understands the things that you are doing to write a letter endorsing your petition. By endorsement, I mean the person is using their letter to substantiate the argument that you have already made in your petition. So let's talk about the nitty-gritty of a letter of recommendation. I will start by telling you that the recommender should be able to introduce themselves in a way that USCIS will understand who they are, what they have achieved, if they have publication, and what makes them to be in a position to write you this letter of recommendation. That is to say that you are to use the person's profile summary, like the one you will see on a typical professor's page in a reputable university where they write a detailed description about themselves. That is the kind of things you should give to USCIS to introduce the recommender so that USCIS will be able to have an idea of who these recommenders are and what they have done and what puts them in a position to write you such a letter. In addition to this, I would recommend that these letters of recommendation states the connection you have with the recommendee. What do I mean by this? I am saying that you should also use one or two sentences in the recommendation letters to talk about the connections you have with the person who is writing this recommendation letter for you. It could be that you are explaining to USCIS that you are the former advisee of the recommender, or you were a student, you took a class with the professor, or you are a co-worker, or you are someone that they supervise in a job that you previously had. Whatever be the case, you should be able to demonstrate that you guys have a connection or you don't have a connection. And this connection actually influences how USCIS will feel or read the letter to understand if they are biased in their opinion or they are not. In addition to stating your relationship with the recommender, the letters of recommendation should be used to advance an argument like I mentioned in the petition. And I will use two examples for you. Let's say, for example, you have judged the works of others. That is, you have reviewed journal articles for reputable journals. The recommendation letter should be used to explain to USCIS who gets to be selected to become the judge of other people's work, who gets to get the invitation to review journal articles, and how does that make you well positioned to advance your proposed endeavor, or how does this invitation to review journal article demonstrates that you have performed at the top of your peers. What am I saying here? I am saying that your recommender should use one paragraph to substantiate the fact that you have reviewed journal articles for reputable journals Consequently, the recommender should be able to demonstrate that you were selected because being a journal article reviewer does not come arbitrarily. It is based on expertise. It is based on your qualification and your publication that makes you to be someone that journal editors could give articles to review. That is to say that being a journal article reviewer is based on your expertise, qualification, or your doctorate degree or your master's degree, as the case might be. That considering this qualification, your recommender should use a paragraph to substantiate the argument in the recommendation letters. I want to also talk about certification. Let's say, for example, you are a certified cybersecurity analyst and you got your certification from, let's say, ComSha or one of those reputable cybersecurity certification outlets. And what should the recommender write in this section? That the recommender should use this section, maybe a paragraph in the letter, to demonstrate how rigorous was the certification that you took. How difficult was it? How many hours did it take you to prepare for the exam? And how does being a certified cybersecurity analyst makes you well positioned to advance your proposed endeavor? And who are the people that usually get this kind of certification? In other words, you should use the letter of recommendation to substantiate the fact that you are well positioned to advance your proposed endeavor. Another thing you could use that recommendation letter to substantiate is that you've published original article that has advanced your field of endeavor. And for those of us writing EB-1 or EB-2, that when you publish articles, and these articles you have to go through peer review and before it was accepted and published. Now you could use your recommendation letter to substantiate the argument that you are making in your petition, demonstrating that the publication of your article has advanced the field of chemistry or business analytics or even management science. I would recommend that you lift up certain sentences in the publication and use that to demonstrate that this publication has advanced the field of chemistry or biology, given that the finding is showing that this research has not been done and the literature review shows that few people have ventured into this but were unable to achieve the success that this person achieved in their petition. Hence, the publication has advanced the field of biology of chemistry. Therefore, it is of original publication that had actually advanced the field of science or the field of endeavor in which the petitioner is seeking classification in. The next example I want to mention of what you could use recommendation letters to do is that you could use it to demonstrate that the petitioner's proposed endeavor is of national importance. In this part of the recommendation letters, I will recommend that you could cite articles, government articles from White House, or even Congress, or even a government reputable website, and give USCIS the link and use the link to demonstrate that even the White House is interested in this person's endeavor. And using the link might not be enough. You might want to quote from the website to substantiate the fact that the persons that you're writing the recommendation letters for, the proposed endeavor, is of national importance. And you should go into details. You should not write these letters of recommendation like you're writing a love letter, telling them how hardworking you are, how you used to come to class early, or how you have, I went for conferences. Conferences are important, but they are not the kind of things that USCIS is looking for. You should use the letter to substantiate the argument that your proposed endeavor is of national importance, given the documents from White House, or even from Congress, or the Department of Energy that speaks about the specific endeavor that you are offering to the United States. I hope this helps you in writing a credible recommendation letter. If you have ever received a pushback from USCIS regarding the recommendation letter that you have written, I want you to go ahead, tell us in the comment section what USCIS have said and how you went ahead solving this problem of recommendation letters. I hope this video helps you in writing a credible recommendation letter for your petition. I wish you all the best in your green card journey. I will see you in my next video. Peace.